Welcome back everyone to the Big Moon Arcade. We're in the shop and what we're going to do is a quick Golden Tee video. She's ready, people. She's ready to go, and I'm going to just walk you through a little bit about what all we did. And you know, I could have done some more videos and whatnot, but we're just going to talk about it because, you know, it can get pretty long in the tooth, you know. The biggest thing we did was we rebuilt the monitor. Here's the cap list for this monitor. That's 58, just so you know. This is the Neotech 500DX. This is a digital monitor. It'll do CGA, VGA, EGA. You can actually even plug I mean, it literally has a VGA plug in the back. And it's looking good, people. It's looking good. It was a pain in the tail, 58 capacitors. My gosh. I don't know what they were doing, but it was a lot of work. But we got it back in there. Now, I'm just going to tell you, because I didn't know, and there's someone out there that doesn't know, but here's the deal. If you got one of these, you cannot get, I'm going to show you, you can't get the chassis out of this thing. All right, the chassis, that's what we rebuilt. You can't get it out without taking the monitor out. Ask me how I know. Can't do it. You can't get to the screws that hold it together. So what you got to do, it takes two guys. You can't do it by yourself. Don't try. I already hurt myself doing it. One guy back behind here on these brackets. You got to take all this off on the front. And there's 4 bolts that hold it on the front. Undo all that, unhook everything, and it's got to come out this way. That's the only way to do it. Now, I got it back in there by myself because gravity helps. That's really not recommended either. But, you know, I did it. So, the monitor's looking good. You know, a little screen refresh problem there with filming it with the camera here, but those lines don't really exist when you look at it. It's just a good looking monitor. We got the header going up there. Everything's running. Set on free play. We got leg levelers on her. We made this little skirt around the bottom so that it looks good, because if you'll recall, if you watched the earlier videos, it was a little tore up. It's all particle board, so it got a little bit tore up when we moved it. It didn't have the leg levelers installed on it. We got them installed. They're huge, by the way. They're way bigger than normal ones. And we got everything looking good too. Because not only do we want it to play great, but we want it to look decent too. You know, I don't need them to look brand new. They're not brand new. But, you know, I want it to look good. And it looks good, people. It's sharp. Now, this thing was rodent infested. It created a whole bunch of problems. So, what we did, the biggest problem that we ran into, this is a digital monitor. There's no analog adjustment. So, this is the actual, and it has these little buttons on there that you access the menu, and it's a lot more modern deal. Okay, this was the one that well, this is not actually the one that was in there, but the buttons that go right here, those were shot. Only one of them worked. The mouse P had destroyed the buttons. So I got this one on eBay. And it was, you know, tested, not whatever they say, you know. I didn't know if it worked, but it was like 25 bucks. I gambled. It didn't work, okay? But all the buttons were good. So I desoldered all these buttons and put them on my control board. And the board still worked, just the buttons didn't. So I got it working by doing that. So buttons aren't the easiest thing in the world to find, so I just salvaged them off of this. I did find some new ones from one of my guys, and you know, he orders them from somewhere, and they're like $8 a piece. So I paid like $25 for this. I just salvaged the buttons off of there, and it works good. So there was that. Now the other thing, this thing is obviously a 2003. Now I learned a lot about Golden Tees, people, in this whole thing. I didn't know anything about them. But in 2001-ish, all these things started coming with a hard drive, okay? The hard drives tend to go Tango uniform because, you know, they're a hard drive and they do that. You can get a flash drive kit that replaces the hard drive, which is really awesome. And that's not that big of a deal. But the big deal is there's two different board sets that these things came with. There was a red set and a green set, okay? A high percentage of both of the reds and the greens had a manufacturing problem that there was like some acid or something in the manufacturing process when they made the boards. Well, they've got proprietary parts. Well, a very, very high percentage of those boards, whether it be red or green, are Tango uniform. That was the case with this one. Not fixable because you can't get the parts for them anymore. So the board that's in there obviously is, you know, you saw it, it's a Golden Tee 99. It's not a 2003. It's a regular JAMA board. Now the interesting thing there, when you run a regular JAMA harness, here's one right here, the board and everything is powered through this, okay? Well, when they went to the hard drive system, the boards, you know, needed more horsepower, so it didn't actually work where they could power it through the JAMA harness. So they actually had separate plugs, and then the power supplies and everything, which are these type of deals right here. Okay, they had special plugs and everything that plugged right into the board to power it. Okay, that's the way this one was set up. Okay, it had the JAMA harness in it, but there was no power going to the JAMA harness. Well, the board that's in there now is a regular JAMA board. So I had to essentially hack into the power supply and pin the connector that was in there and put pins into where the power goes into the harness so that the board could be powered through the harness. That makes sense? Kind of technical. Anyway, it was a pain in the butt, but that's what we did. And so we've got basically a older board running in the newer machine with a regular JAMA harness. Now, if we ever get the other one, like another one that's more modern with the hard drive and all that, no problem. We can just unplug that little hack that I did in there, and we can plug it in and use a regular board, like a newer board with a hard drive. That makes sense? Nah, probably not. Well, don't worry about it because it's awesome anyway. And, you know, all we really care about is that we can play Golden Tee. And so there it is, people. We're playing Golden Tee. It looks good. It is good. It's completely awesome. And it's ready to go to the arcade or wherever we decide to put it. It's pretty big. It's pretty big, people. I'm not really sure. But it's awesome. And it is a lot of fun. So it's ready to go. And that's it. So look at the color. Oh, it's so nice. So wherever you are and whoever you are, appreciate you coming to the Big Moon. You know, if you like this stuff, we're just having fun. That's all I'm doing. This is just about old arcade games. That's all we talk about. And no deep life subjects, nothing serious. So if you're into it, subscribe. And, if you want to see something and if we can make it happen, let me know in the comments and we'll shoot a video of it, whatever it is, as long as it's legal and as long as, we can pull it off. So, but appreciate you coming along. Take care of your people, whoever they are. Tell them that you care about them and show them. Do something to show them that you care about them too, if you can. And we'll see everybody at the Big Moon on the next video.